Okay, so today we will be discussing our cell take-home task 3. So our first one is suggest phrases that could be used in the following situations in a meeting. So A, reviewing and approving minutes of the previous meeting. So my suggestion is, would the secretary read the minutes of the previous meeting? Then is the minutes are approved as read. For the B is interrupting and handling interruptions, which is I am sorry to interrupt you. And can you please give me some time for finish my last sentence? So for C, asking and giving clarifications. May I ask what do you mean by something, something, something? Okay, then this actually is about something, something, something. D, reaching consensus. I think we have made a consensus on something. E, making recommendations. I think we should do something, something, something. Raising other method. F, we should talk about this. And finally is G, adjourning a meeting. I think we should stop here. See you next time. So my part have done. Next.
Okay, next is my part, which is you have to watch the video. So from the video, find out what is the procedure. So what I found is that first, the secretary will read the minute from the previous meeting. Second, the president will ask if there is any correction. Third, if the president will ask if there is any objection. If there is no objection, the secretary will make the correction. If there is an objection, so all those in favor of making the correction will say aye, and those who are opposed will say no. So if aye, the correction are made. If no, the correction are not made. So then after that, the president will announce the vote, and if there is no correction to the minute, the president will state the minute are approved read. If there is an correction, so after the correction are made, the president will state the minute are approved as corrected.
Okay, thank you, Aina.
Mula habis. Not finish yet. So after the minute are approved, the secretary will initiate the minute. She will write the date of the minute were read and state whether they are approved as read or as corrected. So all correction will be made in ink and initial by the secretary. So, nothing will be erased from the minute. The correction written above the mistake or in the margin. And lastly, sign minute after they write them. So who are involved in the meeting is the president, secretary, and also participant. So what kind of language or expression are used? I don't find the answer.
I think it's eyes and nose, right?
Eyes and
Eyes
nose.
and nose.
Okay.
I think just two expressions that we are not using so much. So I think that is the expression. So what is the purpose?
Okay. So the purpose is to achieve outcome from the meeting. So by having a minute meeting, the outcome will be recorded and can be referred back and can be used for follow-up purpose.
All right. Thank you, Aina.
Okay, thank you.
So I think.
Okay, so me, right? Okay,
Yes,
so I will proceed with number 3, interrupting and handling interruptions. So A, suggestion appropriate phrases that could be used for the following. The first one is promise to come back to a point later. So for the examples is, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this will only take a minute. And then for the second one, politely disagree with an interruptions. Excuse me, I would like to correct something from what you have said just now. So third, say the interruptions is not relevant or that time is short. I apologize for the interruptions, but I think the point you have said just now is not relevant, or I am so sorry. I think we are running out of time. Can you just make it short? 4. Politely accept the interruptions and respond to it before continuing. No problem. Go ahead, or sure, what do you think? So the fifth, rejecting suggestions. I am really sorry. I'm not agree with your point just now. So for B, why it is important to use these expressions in a meeting? So the important is to interrupt, is to correct or add in informations. So that's all from my part.
Thank you,
Okay.
Eva.
Okay, thank you.
So, as for me, I will answer number 4, asking for and giving clarifications. So, first of all, in communication, clarification involves offering back to the speaker the essential meaning as understood by the listener of what they have just said, thereby checking that the listener's understanding is correct and resolving any areas of confusion or misunderstanding. Clarification is important in many situations, especially when what is being communicated is difficult in some way. Communication can be difficult for many reasons. Perhaps sensitive emotions are being discussed, or you are listening to some complex information or following instructions. So basically, the purpose of clarification is to ensure that the listener's understanding of what the speaker has said is correct, and also to reduce the misunderstanding. And next is to reassure the speaker that the listener is genuinely interested in them and attempting to understand of what they are saying. The next question is reaching consensus. So what is consensus? Consensus is a group discussion where everyone's opinion are heard and understood, and a solution is created that respects those opinions. Consensus is not what everyone agrees to, nor it is the preference of the majority. Consensus results in the best solution so that the group can achieve at all time. So there are a few conditions to reach a consensus, and first of all is a common goal where everyone present at the meeting needs to share a common goal and be willing to work together towards it. The next one is commitment to reach consensus, where because consensus can require a lot of commitment and patience to make it work. And following that, the conditions for consensus also require trust and openness, a sufficient time, clear process, active participation, and also good facilitation. I think that's all from me.
Thank you, Alia.
Okay. So I will proceed with number 6, which is making recommendations. Recommendations is like a kind of acceptance from one party to accept another party's suggestion. And it is important for us to make recommendation in order to show formality as well as to avoid any misunderstanding of or perception of information. Also, it is required to avoid any feelings of prejudice or provocation from other parties. For number 7, raising other matters. The purpose of raising other matters at the end of meeting is to show continuation of the meeting, as well as for us to predict the outcome as well as agenda, for us to have specific outline, and to as well as set up the venues, to set up the time, and also for the attendance purpose.
Right.
Last one is adjourning a meeting. When do we adjourn a meeting? Adjourning a meeting is also to show continuation of a meeting. Let's say it is quite common, and usually they use in parliament and also for formal meetings. So adjourn also when they often do adjourn meeting at the end of every meeting. It is also for us to set up specific time, usually for time, and also when a meeting has already reached a limit and over the agenda that they have discussed on that day, and they wanted to do on the next meeting. So they said that the meeting is adjourned at what time and the venue, and so on. So I guess that's all from me.
Okay, thank you so much, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Bye.